Hello everyone, you're welcome to Learn Maths with me. In this channel, I'll be taking you through in-depth tutorials covering a wide range of topics from basic arithmetic to advanced maths. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the Pythagorean Theorem. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define what the Pythagorean Theorem is. You'll be able to apply the theorem to determine the unknown sides. You'll be able to solve problems that involve right angled triangles. Now let's take a look at what a right angled triangle is. A right angled triangle is a type of triangle that has one angle to be equal to 90 degrees. Now a triangle has three sides and three angles. So out of the three angles in a right angled triangle, one of those angles is equal to exactly 90 degrees. When we have a triangle that has an angle to be equal to 90 degrees, then we say that that triangle is a right angled triangle. And then the side that is opposite that right angled will be the longest side of the triangle, and that is known as the hypotenuse. It's called the hypotenuse. The other two sides which form the right angle are called the legs of the triangle. So the Pythagorean theorem applies in a right angled triangle only, and then it states that the square of the length of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the lengths of the other two sides. So in this triangle, for example, my hypotenuse is C and my other two legs, I have the first one A and I have the second one B. So my A squared plus my B squared will be equal to my C squared. This relationship helps us solve problems involving right angled triangle. Now, how do you know that a triangle is right angled? You know because this angle is represented by two straight lines rather than the normal arc that is used to represent angles. It's represented by two straight lines formed at the corner. Let's take a look at examples of triangles that are right angled. So we have all these different triangles depending on how the triangle is positioned. As long as you have an angle represented by two straight lines and not an arc, then you immediately know that the triangle is a right angled triangle. Let's look at an example. Let's find the missing value in this triangle that has three sides A, B and C. Now we have side A to be 5, we have side B to be 12, but we want to find the value of side C. The first thing we need to know is what is the hypotenuse in this triangle. Remember we said the hypotenuse is the side that is facing the right angle, and that is side C. So if we are to plug in our values into equation for Pythagorean theorem, it will be A squared plus B squared is equals to C squared. My A is 5, my B is 12, and I want to find the value of my C. So 5 squared plus 12 squared will be equal to C squared. 5 squared is 25, 12 squared is 144, and I want to find the value of C. So 25 plus 144 is 169. So my C squared is 169, and then my C will be the square root of 169, which is 13. Let's take a look at another example. We have this right angle. We have side A to be 9. We don't know what side B is, and then our side C is 15. So let us first of all determine what is the hypotenuse of this triangle. The hypotenuse is the longest side of the triangle, and that is the side that is facing the right angle, and that is the side C. So let's plug in the values that we know into our equation. The equation is A squared plus B squared is equals to C squared. My A is 9, my B is an unknown, and my C is 15. So 9 squared is 81. B, I don't know the value of B. So 81 plus B squared, 15 squared is 225 is equals to 225. So I want to find out what the value of B is. My B squared will be 225 minus 81. I bring this 81 to the other side of my equation. So it will be 225 minus 81. And then my B squared is 144. So to get the value of B, I simply find the square root of 144, and that gives me 12. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's take a look at a third example. I have this right angle triangle. My A, I don't know the value of A. My B is 6 and my C is 10. Now the longest side of this triangle, which is also the side that faces the right angle, is 10, and that is the hypotenuse. Let's plug in the values into the equation, my a squared plus b squared is equals to c squared. So my a, I don't know the value of a. My b is 6 and my c is 10. So my a squared plus 6 squared is equals to 10 squared. 6 squared is 36 and 10 squared is 100. So a squared plus 36 is equals to 100. My a squared will be 100 minus 36 and a squared will be equal to 64. So to get the value of a, I'll simply find the square root of 64, which is 8. So my a will be equal to 8. Let's take a look at a fourth example. Let's find the missing value. Now we have this shape ABCD, and this shape has two right angle triangles. We want to find the missing value x, and we want to find the missing value y. Now in the first triangle ABC is a right angled. The x is the hypotenuse, and I know what my length A is and my length B is, so I can easily solve for x using the Pythagorean theorem. Then in my second triangle ACD, I have two sides unknown. X is unknown, y is unknown. Then I have a side that is 12. Now my hypotenuse is y, but if I'm able to solve for x from the first triangle and I know the value of x, I would also be able to solve for y. Now let's take a look at the solution. My a is 4, my b is 3, and then my c is 12. So I want to solve for my x and my y. So for triangle ABC, I have a squared plus b squared is equals to x squared, where my a is 4 and my b is 3. So 4 squared plus 3 squared is equals to x squared. 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9, and then I want to find the value of my x squared. So 16 plus 9 is 25. So x squared is 25, and then my x is 5. Now for triangle ACD, I've been able to get the value of x, which is 5. And I now want to go ahead and solve for the value of y. So my triangle ACD, my hypotenuse is my side y because it's the side that is facing the right angle triangle. So my x squared plus my c squared is equals to y squared. Remember, the Pythagorean theorem states that the sum of the square of the sides is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So my x squared plus c squared is equals to y squared. Now x squared from this first triangle is 25. So x squared is 25. My c squared, that's 12 squared, will be equal to y squared. So 12 squared is 144. 25 plus 144 will give me 169. So my y squared is equals to 169, and my y will be the square root of 169, which is equals to 13. So my x is 5 and my y is 13. Let's take a look at the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. Now, if you are not sure if a triangle is a right angle, but if you have that the square of the length of the longest side of the triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, then it means that that triangle is a right angle triangle. So first we determine which side will be the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. Then we use the values and put it into the Pythagorean theorem. So if you find that the values of the squares of the sides of the triangle and the value of the square of the hypotenuse is the same thing, then it is right to say that that triangle is a right angle triangle. So here's an example. You have this triangle, you have a side 3, you have a side 4, and you have a side 5, but you are not sure if this triangle is a right angle triangle. So all you simply do, you identify what is the longest side in this triangle. In this case, it is 5. So is 5 squared going to be equals to 3 squared plus 4 squared? Let's take a look and see. A squared plus b squared is equals to c squared. So my a, let's represent my a with 3, let's represent my b with 4, and then the longest side, which is the hypotenuse, will be c. So 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and then 5 squared is 25. So if you add this up, 9 plus 16 gives me 25. So that means this triangle is a right angle triangle. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, kindly drop it for me in the comment section. I'll see you in my next video.